From the Intellifluence headquarters in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, this is the Intellifluence Influencer Spotlight. In each episode, we sit down with an influencer from our network and we discuss their background as well as their unique approach to influencer marketing. Dr. Noah St. John is known as the Father of Affirmations and the mental health coach to the stars. Founder of SuccessClinic.com, Noah leads an 8-figure global peak performance and business growth company from his home in Northeast Ohio. Working with Hollywood celebrities, 8-figure company CEOs, professional athletes, top executives, and elite entrepreneurs, Noah is famous for helping his clients make more in 12 weeks than they did in the previous 12 months before hiring him. Noah has appeared on over 1,000 media outlets including ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, the Hallmark Channel, NPR, Entrepreneur, the Jenny McCarthy Show, Selling Power, and Success Magazine. You can learn more about Noah at noahstjohn.com or get a copy of his new book at sendmeabooknoah.com. Noah, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to speak with us. We really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I grew up poor in a rich neighborhood, which I know is a total cliche, but it's true. I grew up in this little town called Kennebunkport, Maine, which happens to be one of the wealthiest communities in New England. But my family was dirt poor. And I mean that literally because we lived at the bottom of a dirt road in a drafty, unfinished house that my parents ended up losing to foreclosure. So from a very young age, I was painfully exposed to the gap, the chasm between the haves and the have-nots. The haves was everyone else in the community. The have-nots was my family. And, you know, you hear these speakers all the time. They get on stage. They say, well, we were poor, but we were happy. We didn't know we were poor. Well, my family, we freaking knew we were poor because my mother, bless her heart, reminded us every day that we were poor and miserable. So no, it wasn't happy. It sucked. And so I hated that life of poverty and fear, lack, not enoughness. That's what I grew up with in my family. But I saw right down the street, there's great wealth and abundance. So I literally said, my whole childhood was like, how the heck do I get from here to there? You know, how do I get from not enough to enough? And that's really how I started. This whole thing was just a search born out of frustration and poverty and not enoughness. And so that's why, you know, I say, if you go to our website, you'll see that, you know, one of my missions in life is to eradicate not enoughness from the world. And that's really where that all came from.
Absolutely. And you talk about the frustration growing up. Is that kind of the head trash that you're talking about?
Well, one of the things that we do is we help people take out their head trash, which is why I've written, you know, all these books really. And we do have this book for free available, you know, for everybody watching and listening to this program. But my point is that, yeah, so head trash, really the way that I've been teaching it for the last 25 years, head trash is the voice in your head that says, I can't do it because ... So for everyone listening and watching, if you think about your goals, right? Think about what you want. And everybody out there, all the gurus say, you know, set your goals and then, you know, think positive and take massive action and all this stuff. Now that's not exactly wrong, but it also oftentimes doesn't really work. And so what I do is instead I say, look at what it is that you want, but realize that at the very moment that you want it, you also are afraid to go after it. So that's what I call driving down the road of life with one foot on the brake. Right? So if you think about reaching your goals as reaching a destination, it's like getting in your car and driving to the grocery store down the street, right? The grocery store is a goal, is a destination, right? But the point is you wouldn't just drive to the grocery store, walk around for a while, and then get back in your car and, you know, go back home. You'd be like, well, why would I do that? You wouldn't do that, right? But that's what a lot of people are doing. They don't know what they want. But even more importantly, there are millions and millions of people right now who are driving down the road with one foot on the brake. And they don't know that they're doing it. That's what I call head trash. And by the way, one of the big problems that happens is, you know, the person's frustrated. They're like, how come I'm not reaching my goals? How come I'm not moving forward, right? How come I'm feeling stuck or I'm plateaued or I keep reaching this point and then I can't go any further, right? This is what our clients say to us all the time. And so what happens in this industry, the personal growth industry I'm talking about, you know, they'll say, you know, a guru will come up and say, well, you know what your problem is? You need to put new gas in your car. Your gas isn't going to put this really expensive gas in. So you put expensive gas in, but you're still doing the same habit, getting the same result. Another guru says you need a new set of tires. Get these really expensive tires. That'll do it. You get the expensive tires, spend more money, but you're still doing the same thing, same result. And finally, the third guru comes around and they say, you know what your problem is? You need to get a new car. You know, like I drive this really expensive sports car. You need to get a car like me. And you're like, man, do I really? And you're like, okay, you spend all this money and you get back in your car, but you're still doing the same habit. So what I do that's different, and that I've been doing for the last 20 plus years, is I come up and I say, did you know you have your foot on the brake? And you're like, no. And they say, well, and I say, then, well, do you know if you get your foot off the brake, you can actually reach your goals a lot faster and easier? And they go, really? I say, yeah, this is one of the ways that we help people make more in 12 weeks than they made in the last 12 months. I mean, we've done this hundreds of times, literally helping people make more in 12 weeks than they made in the last 12 months. And they go, great, where do I sign? You know, they get very excited because it's like, hello, who wouldn't want more with less? And that's the whole point. It's not about, you know, the hustle and the grind. Again, not that that's wrong. There's a place for that, but really we just help people do it a lot faster and easier with a lot less stress.
Want to join Intellifluence as an influencer? It's free, easy, and you get to keep 100% of your earnings. Go to Intellifluence.com, click or tap influencers, then click or tap the join for free button. Once you have registered for free as an influencer, you can start creating offers with custom pricing and services. Brands can pitch you to work with them via these offers. Once you have created your offers, head over to the marketplace and browse opportunities for brands. Apply to any and all that are a great fit. Earn cash quickly by referring your friends and family. And you're called the Father of Affirmations. Now you see that affirmations are the fastest way to change your life. So what are affirmations? And how are they different from traditional affirmations?
Right. So we're saying a new word here for many of you who've never heard of this. This is something I invented over 20 years ago called AFFORMATIONs. If you look at, this is my book from Hay House. It's called AFFORMATIONS. Or if you go to affformations.com, you can learn more about that. So we're not saying it wrong. It's a new word that I invented. And so an affirmation, as everyone knows, is a statement of something you want to be true. Like, so I do keynote speeches, you know, or teaching at virtual events or live events, you know, all around the country, around the world. And one of the things that I do with my audience is I say, okay, we're going to say an affirmation, just like they taught us, like the gurus say. And everybody stand up and say, I am rich. Everybody goes, I am rich. You know what happens next? Everyone starts laughing. And I go, what are you laughing at? They go, well, I'm not rich. And I say, well, you just said you were. And they go, yeah, but I don't believe it. See, now that's the problem, right? That's the problem with the old method is they said, well, you just say these statements over and over, and then eventually someday you'll believe it. Now, for some people that worked just fine, but for millions of us, it didn't work at all. So that's why 25 years ago, I invented this method that I call the AFFORMATIONS method instead of the affirmations method. So AFFORMATIONs are using the brain's embedded presupposition factor. And that's just a fancy way of saying that when you ask a question, your brain automatically searches for the answer. So instead of saying something like, I am rich, and your brain goes, yeah, right? You would form a question like, why am I so rich? Why am I so happy? Why am I always in the right place at the right time? And by virtue of the embedded presupposition factor of the brain, your brain automatically searches for the answer. And then when you're searching for the answer, that actually can help you change your habits and change your results and thereby change your life. And so that's why my affirmations method literally is the most powerful and yet the simplest and most effective method for belief change that I've ever seen.
Very interesting. And so we are about, well, what are we, March 1st now? So there were the New Year's resolutions. For many people, they've probably gone out the door. So you say that willpower is one of the worst ways to change a habit. Why is that so?
Well, think about this, right? As you mentioned, millions of people, actually over 80% of Americans resolve to change one or more habits every year, but yet only 8% succeed. And why is that? Well, one of the reasons is because we're actually not taught what a habit actually is. So instead, we're trying to use this method called willpower, which is what the gurus are teaching. And basically what willpower is think about it like this. Imagine if you're in your kitchen right now and someone brings in a plate of just out of the oven chocolate chip cookies. You know, they have that chocolate chip cookie smell. They're wafting there. You can smell it. Your mouth is watering. And you're like, man, that looks really good. It smells great, right? And then they say to you, okay, now don't have a chocolate chip cookie. Whatever you do not have a chocolate chip cookie. All right, now I'm leaving right now, but don't have those cookies. Don't eat a cookie. Now they leave. What are you going to do? You're going to eat like 10 of them, right? Right? Because I mean, they're literally telling you, don't do that thing that you want to do. So that's what we humans are like. We don't like to deny ourselves of anything. We don't like to have something that we can't have, right? That's why this is one of the reasons why diets don't work, because they're like saying, don't eat that. And like, man, I really want, that's right. But 3 a.m. going, right? So, but it's lots of things like that. That's just an example. So my point is that what I do is I teach what I call the power habits of unconsciously successful people. That's what we teach in our programs like Power Habits Academy and 12-Week Breakthrough, which is what highly successful people do unconsciously that they can't even teach because they're not even aware they're doing it. So that's why, some people have said about my work that my work starts where Think and Grow Rich left off. In books like Think and Grow Rich, they talked about, what highly successful people do. Well, how come everybody read that book and everybody's not successful? Well, it's because of all the stuff they left out. So in terms of willpower, the point is that what we really need to do is understand what a habit actually is. And then instead of trying to force yourself to either deny yourself of something or force yourself to do something that you don't really want to do, instead, you can use something like, maybe I'll just have one chocolate chip cookie and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's really all right if I have a chocolate chip cookie. It's not, you're not wagging your finger at yourself saying you can't do this or you have to do that. It's really understanding what a habit really is and then using that knowledge and using that power, that system really, to really get better results and change your whole life really very quickly.
Definitely. And several things you said today have piqued my interest. So I'm sure it's going to be the same for our viewers too. So where can people go? Where's a good place to start their journey, with what you offer? Is it your book or your website? Where should people go?
Absolutely. So one of the best places to go is if you go to sendmeabooknoah.com. Very easy to remember. Sendmeabooknoah.com. I will send you a book. Send me a book, Noah. And this book is free. We've covered the cost of the book, and then we just ask you to cover the shipping. So the book is called Get Rid of Your Head Trash About Money, How to Avoid the 3 Big Money Mistakes that even smart people make. And I know everyone watching this program is very smart, but you may be making one or more of these mistakes without even knowing it. So again, that's sendmeabooknoah.com. The book is free. And then if you want to just learn more about me, just go to noahstjohn.com. That's my name, noahstjohn.com, just like it sounds. And if you want to book me to speak at your event, you can go to booknoah.com. Again, easy to remember. Who should we book? Booknoah.com.
The IntelliFluence for Influencers app enables you to earn free products or cash in exchange for your honest reviews using your mobile device. Upon logging in, or signing up for free if you haven't already, you will arrive at your custom dashboard where you can view transactions that need your attention at a glance or browse our recommended offers from brands. Check out marketplace offers from brands and apply to your favorites. Once you accept a pitch from a brand, you can complete the entire transaction anywhere using your mobile device and communicate with the brand using our intuitive messaging tool. You will never have to go outside the app. View your earnings summary, including upcoming payments, as well as your entire history. You can view your influencer profile strength and make any necessary updates to your profile to put you in better position to be pitched. Edit your details such as compensation preferences and social accounts with ease. If you could ever use some help, you can access the IntelliFluence knowledge base or contact support at any time from the app. As an influencer, there are never any fees associated with using our influencer marketing service, and you get to keep all of your earnings. Download the free IntelliFluence for Influencers app today and get started.